Troxus Ebike, ready to go. Let's see what we have here. Check it out. Looks pretty good. All right, really quick, I got some of the packaging out of the way. You can see how very well packaged everything is and wrapped. Every piece had a piece of double thick cardboard, about this thick, in between each component. So very nice job on the packaging. Some real thick foam down there. You can see that right there. A lot of zip ties. This was on the stem right here. Look at that. That's a nice chunk. Good job, Troxus. That's how you say the name. So these are 26-inch tires, fat tire. Got some nice fenders on it. Rear hub drive. All right, I'm gonna cut this box open, I think, from the side and just kind of lay it out flat. So far, it's looking really good. Okay, now that I got it pretty much freed from the package, I'm going to leave the packaging on the front end, leave that on there. Now that I exposed the seat post, I'm going to throw this in my bike stand and start putting it together. All right. So I'm going to put this wheel on the front just because this bike is quite hefty, and I want to make sure in case, not that I'm saying it's going to, but in case it did happen to fall off my bike stand, I'm going to put this wheel on, and it's not your typical quick release style. It's got your acorn nuts on here. Goes right up in there. It's got some Tektro brakes on it. Line everything up. There's your bars right there, zoom brakes, or sorry, zoom bars, zoom stem. Those are some components I've heard of. Pretty cool. So far, so good. So I'm gonna secure these handlebars first, I believe, just to get them up and out of the way. Then I'm gonna put that front tire on. All right, so I think the computer is kind of in the way, this installation. So I might have to loosen that computer bracket just a little bit just to get it up and out of the way. Just loosening up this bracket that holds the display, okay, like so. All right, so of course, always use blue Loctite on every piece of hardware I install, just my thing. Blue Loctite on your steering stem clamp. Okay, so I got the bars mounted. They're not exactly where I'm gonna leave them, of course. Got the display loosened out of the way. Now it's time to put on that big old 26-inch front tire, fat tire. This thing is going together very easy. So I'm gonna line all this up, make sure the brake rotor lines up. Of course, it's not quick release or anything, but then they have these washers. These go on the outside of your fork. So we're gonna bring everything down, make sure that brake rotor is all in line. And you got your outside washer and your acorn nut. And I am gonna blue Loctite those before I tighten everything down. Right on the end of that axle, on the threads. Try not to get any on your brake rotor. Blue Loctite, put the washer on there, and the acorn nut. Make sure everything's down. Okay, now I'm gonna tighten those up with a wrench. All right. So those nuts are a 15 millimeter. I don't know if you can see that on there. Okay, got that on there. Starting to look like a bike. There it is, right there. Cool. Let's continue the build. All right, so we got the wheels on it, got the handlebars on it. I think I'm gonna open up the two boxes right now. Maybe, I believe the pedals are inside there. Still have the front fender right here. I might have, probably should have put that on before I put the front wheel, but We could always remove that, no big deal. So far I'm stoked on this thing. Everything looks pretty good. Got some Tektro cable actuated brakes, 750 watt motor back here, 7-speed Shimano Altus derailleur shifter. Got a little bit of suspension up front here. Not sure of the fork, but I've heard of Tektro, I've heard of Zoom, so pretty decent. Nice fat tires. These are 26-inch, 26 by 4.0 Kenda tires. Another name brand. It's got a kickstand on it. All right, let's open up these boxes right now and see what it's got going on inside there. Let's see what we got here. First box. No markings on the boxes. I'm gonna guess these might be the pedals. Yep, there we go. Okay. Here's what it comes with. A little bit of bike grease. Nice. You got your pedals right here. Marked right and left. Some reflectors on them. Let's see if they're made of aluminum or something. What kind of material they are. I'm trying to read the name on it. Femin pedals. Never heard of them. Okay. Not bad, not bad. That'll work. Little rear reflector for you. If you choose to put that on. I think this is a front reflector. There we go. Okay, so this is a front light. Looks like you can plug in your, there's some wires hanging off the front there. Looks like they go right into there. Looks like it's got a little front light on it. It's kind of cool. Came with some tools, little Allen wrench set, plus a little flathead. And you got your Phillips head on this side, plus all the Allens you probably need for this bike, I'm guessing. And your wrench. 13 millimeter on this side, 15 on this end. Okay. And your instruction manual. Do we need that? We might. Troxus electric bike. Instruction manual. Troxus Vulcanus. Troxus. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how I'm saying it. Or Troxus, whatever you want to say. All right. Okay, we'll get in depth with that a little bit later. So what's in this other box? Curious to see. Here we go. Ah, the charger. Okay. So there's your charger right here. There's your cable. And the actual charger. And that's pretty much it. Looks like it has a little LED light right here. Probably to show that you're charging. Plug that into there. And this looks like it goes into the battery. All right. All right, let's continue this build. I take it this grease is probably for your pedals. You don't want to Loctite your pedal threads. You want to use grease. So that's what I'm going to use it. And we're going to install the pedals right now. All right, so you want to take your grease, put a little tiny bit on your threads like so before you install them. Okay, after I grease the threads on the pedals, I start it with my fingers. On this is your right side. If you're looking forward, it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And then when we get over to the left side, it's the reverse thread. Righty-loosey, lefty-tighty. Doesn't spin too well, but that's okay. Okay, so now we're on the left side of the bike. If you're looking forward, same thing. You're gonna take this grease, a little bit on the threads there. And for your left side, you're gonna turn it towards the left to tighten it. So it's a reverse thread. Because when you're pedaling forward, you're self-tightening, basically. So pretty much you're self-tightening this pedal using the wrench it came with. It's a 15 millimeter. Okay, there you go. Left pedal, directional. You'll see that labeled. Okay, so we're gonna mount the light, and I'm using my own Allen tools, and I believe these two plugs right here, they go into the back of this light. They're clearly marked, negative and positive, on the back of the light. I don't know if you can see that. So you have these two wires that go into there, and you can see that the wires are marked. This light basically goes in here, bolts down, plugs this in, and you'll have a light on the front of your bike. I like that for safety. This is a 4 millimeter hex wrench, the front. In the rear, you get your 10 millimeter. we'll remove this mounting hardware, reinsert that hardware, and I'm going to leave this loose right now so I can plug in the wiring. And like I said, you have your wires right here that go directly to the back of this light. Mounting hardware comes with a nylock nut. No need to put blue Loctite on it. Just tighten it down. Once I get a little bit snugged up, then I'll position it where I'd like to have it. Looks pretty good right there. Might have to reposition it, but it looks pretty good for me right now. Cool, nice little light. Okay, so there's the power button on the battery. There's the display. I'm gonna peel this off. Right there's the keys. They come on it, zip tied to the bike. And here's your key. That might just be to unlock the battery. I'm unsure right now, but I'm gonna try to power it up and let's see if we get any power on the display. So I'm gonna hold this down, power. There we go, showing full battery. And I believe this is your source, power source button. This is your PAS. This is your throttle. So let's hold this button down, see what we get. There we go, 66% battery, right from factory. All right, cool, we got power. Let me shut her down. Hold that, and for a few seconds, shuts off. Let's get it off the stand and see if we can get it to move. I think I'm gonna lube the chain because it kind of looks like it comes pretty dry from factory. I don't see any lube on there. So I'm gonna put some lube on there, give it a once over real quick. Check all the componentry, make sure everything's tight, get the bike off the stand, make sure it's where I want it. I gotta still tighten up this, I have to position this. Yeah, let's get it off the stand real quick and then make sure everything is where it's supposed to be. Also, I have to install that front fender. All right, while I have it in the stand, I have done 0 adjustments to the drivetrain. So I'm gonna go through the shifting, just pedaling it by hand. Let's see where we're at. I'm gonna go all the way to there, okay? Yeah, so I was giving it a half push. I gotta give it a full. There we go. Okay, all right. So it might need a little bit of adjustment. Keeps coming off that big ring. I'm gonna put a little bit of lube on there. So that's how it comes from factory. Not too shabby. I can adjust that. Lube the drivetrain. I prefer Tri-Flow. I also like Johnny Lube. But on this bike, I'm just gonna stick with the Tri-Flow for now. Just gonna let that do its thing. There we go. Get that chain nice and lubed with some Tri-Flow. Then I'm gonna go through the cycle of shifting the gears to make sure every gear gets a little bit of lube on it. We'll let that sit for about 5 minutes, then we'll wipe the excess off. I can already tell it's making a difference. Feels so good. Cycle through those gears real quick. Now, someone mentioned to me that the grease that comes with this bike goes on the chain, but I would prefer to use something that has a better reputation, and that grease will just collect dirt, so I'd use Tri-Flow. All right, let's cycle through the gears one more time. Might need a little bit of adjustment because it's not staying up there without me holding my thumb on it. Okay, now that it's cycled through, we'll let it sit for about 5 minutes. Then we'll take a rag and wipe off all the excess lubricant. We don't want to make a mess. 5 minutes, I'm just gonna hold this rag on here. Just wipe out all that excess lubricant. Check the chain, make sure it's shifting clean. Not too bad. All right, so you got your Tektro cable actuated disc brake. I'm gonna go forward a little bit and apply the brakes. There we go. I'll apply the brakes. See that cable pulling? Those got to be broken in, I'm sure. They're brand new. So we'll break those in after a nice little ride around the block. Cool. pretty much she's all built. I got the drivetrain moved up. Got the handlebars where they feel comfortable to me. And so far it feels solid. So just a few minor adjustments and she'll be ready for the road. And see if everything works. Got all the lights hooked up. Pretty cool. Comes with a headlight. You got a brake light on it. Hit the brake lever. Gives you a little warning. There's my neighbor's dog. What's up, Bear? All right, first ride. There's the display. I took it for a little spin just to make sure everything worked. Here's your PAS. It's on 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 levels. So we'll start on, let's start on 2. Take it for a little cruise. Got the lights on, 65% battery. Nice. It's got a throttle on it. There it goes. You can see that display a little better. Let's go up in PAS. Let's go all the way to 5. And do a quick little rip on it. Brakes seem to work good. Here we go. Going through the shifting. Nice. So it seems like it maxes out at 20 miles an hour. 22. Brakes are decent. They could probably use some adjustment. There we go. Very nice. I like it. Perfect bike for the wife. Cool. I'm stoked on it. I'm sure she will be too. All right, that's it for today. That's it, the Troxus Vulcanus. There's the manual, that's the name right there. Electric bike, 750 watts, rear hub drive. Decent bike, very decent. Quality build, no issues whatsoever. Came packaged nicely. You can see all the packaging right there. Came quick. Decent display. Don't forget to challenge yourself. And I'll get some specs on this thing for you. I look forward to sharing more of this with you. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching.